Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Today is January 20th, 2015. Today's video is going to be a little post-market wrap-up and pre-market estimation of prices for tomorrow. Starting today on the daily SPX. You can see today created a bottoming candlestick that filled this gap. Definitely got resistance right after that gap and on the midpoint of this Keltner range, which is slightly cautious. Futures are pretty much neutral right now, bouncing in between 1 point up, 1 point down on the S&P. Getting to the 5, so we can see a little bit more frequent time range. All right, 4 days. What was I looking at? I think I was looking at the 9. Yeah. So on this 9-day, as you can see, draw some trend lines here. This declining trend line is forming a lower, accelerating lower high if prices were to rise as far as resistance goes. If this is not resistance right here, and it very well could be, but support right here, and then the rising trend line. There's a couple on this one, so that was 1, and then 2 here. And then again, if you start here, I guess that would be another trend line there, or if you start at the lower section, it would be there. So yeah, price targets for tomorrow. Getting back to the 2, maybe 3 days. Yeah, this 212 definitely looks taggable. There's lots of support in between there and where prices are at now at 20, 22, 42. The lower Keltner range right now is accelerating. We'll just call it at 2018 for tomorrow. Lower Bollinger, it's within the Bollinger's lower Bollinger range at 2016. Support levels, disregarding all that information, really come out to definitely to around this range. So looks like the rising trend line that was broken. So you can see there's a little bit of a channel created here. If I get the symmetry a little more correct, starting point of my resistance line on the top resistance line channel. So yeah, so price action for tomorrow, just gonna leave that there for now. Getting back to the daily. Alright, so yeah, definitely that range 2012 for tomorrow would be the pivot point for today with futures, which would be right on this support line that I'm drawing right here. 2014, yeah. So critical support would be in that range, 2014. On the 5, that was Alright, so that's below the lower Bollinger line coming up to this trend line. So tomorrow very well could test this lower trend line. And if that happens, I would look for this trend line to be tested. If it breaks as a retest, if we hit down here, if we get to that 2012 level tomorrow, we're looking for a retrace to the 2018, 2019 price range on the SPX. Again, that would probably be some type of late day rally, and if that would happen, probably put in another indecision type candlestick tomorrow, kind of like as we had today. 2012, and then maybe we close a little bit green up here, so it puts in something like this. I'm trying to draw a candlestick and it's just not panning out. Sorry about that. But same candlestick that we would have today, except it would be tomorrow and a little bit higher. Maybe have the same type of bottoming out range and then close in the 2032 range. So yeah, today was very volatile. Tomorrow could be very volatile as well. Take a look at the VIX. So yeah, the VIX is trending in a similar pattern as we saw here in this triple top. So we got this coming down here, having these three candlesticks right here. 1, 2, 3. These 3 days trade above the 10-day SMA and below the Bollinger, but right on the base of that declining trend line. And we got the same price action. These last 3 days got to dip down. See if tomorrow does something similar as prior patterns. So yeah, the VIX, where did it close at? 1989, and it looks like it's either right below or at that 10-day SMA. On any type of move down tomorrow, I would, if prices were to retrace and move higher from a low tomorrow, I would expect the VIX to stay below this resistance point, 2096, but it's a declining trend line, so it might be even lower, like 2080. So maybe around this range. Right there, 2070. Yeah, so maybe that 2070 level. That would probably warrant 12 if the VIX vehicles, or the vehicles that trade VIX, don't react to a market drop that's down to 2012. Then I'll definitely be taking a long position for the next couple days. Let's see, the 15. Let's take a look at the 10. 10 first, go through the time. 2 days. Let's just bring it out to 20. So yeah, it's just doing the same price action. as the 5. Um, prices, I'm not going to even talk about it because it just kind of seems far away, but maybe there's some surprise announcement tomorrow, that some headline earnings move or something that gets markets moving a little bit higher. Sorry about that. But if they did move higher past this upper trend line, uh, I'd be surprised and expect uh, heavy resistance here at 2065. But I mean, you got a little bit of it's not really head and shoulders, cup and handle. Hmm. See what the 15 looks like. Same thing. And the Keltner's a little bit outside the Bollinger, but they're gearing back up here, which is a pretty good sign. And the Bollinger Bands are splitting um, directions, but the Keltners are tilted up. So that could be very bullish for tomorrow if prices were to gap up. Definitely look for if this were to crack somewhere up here. Let's get back to 30 minutes. Same thing. Let's get 20 days on 30. Clear the trends real quick. Yeah, so 2014 level definitely looks reasonable for tomorrow. If prices fall a little bit lower, I don't know. It's super bearish just because there's lower highs up here going all the way back. So long positions should be closely attended at this point in time, in my opinion. I could be a worrywart in some people's minds, but I'm definitely not. I'd rather err on the side of caution with some of these volatility vehicles. 2012, yeah. So that 2012 region's coming up in lots of areas here. Keltner's moving inside. The Bollinger's tilting in opposite directions for both the end. So that looks fairly bullish. 2050. Yeah, if we hit this range in here tomorrow, I don't know. I mean, it's a long shot, but we could form some type of head and shoulders here tomorrow. If prices were to fall below that 2012, the 2005, and then hop back up to maybe 2021, and then resume a lower course for the rest of the week. 5-day. Are we even in the 5-day? So yeah, prices are above the 5-day simple moving average there. Pretty sure they're above the 10 as well. So that's what the weekly looks like so far. It's a matter of thinking we're either going to touch this 5-day SMA on the weekly, on the yearly, which has been a lot of support and resistance areas for price action in the past weeks. that happens, prices would touch back around 2043 range. Lower prices at this point. I mean, it could get, even if it does get kind of hairy, there's a lot of support in here. And if February is an up month and not a down month and it's quickly approaching, then it's going to be bad news for the bears. But the monthly does look bearish, or possibly bearish. But after this this October month, I'm not sure if anything can really be classified as bearish anymore. 1, 2, 3, but we're still in that 1, 2, 3 here. We gotta see here, like 8 more trading days in the month. 10 more. That 2044 on the weekly would put the monthly almost green. And then February would be a repeat of January, but at a lower level. That 1975-55 area. And then whether or not prices decline from that point would be telltale. 47, yeah. Let's see here. Just want to see how many more trading days we're going on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 8 more trading days. So in 8 trading days, we're either going to be here or here on the weekly. On the monthly, should be the 8 more trading days. You think this candle's gonna close solid right here, this monthly? I don't. I think it's gonna do the same thing here. 2047. But if that happens, 8 trading days. Ooh. Maybe you go a little bit higher. Right there, 2080. 6 and close down. So yeah, this month is it's definitely in a range. So that's bullish, but at the same time, that range has been the same range for the last 3 months. So we'll see if we get that 1, 2, 3. It looks like the price has always had a tendency to move up towards the end of the month on a larger time scale. So here, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Oh. 24th. Yeah, so 19th. So the 20th through the end of the month we moved up, and then the beginning of the month we moved down. And then let's see. Right here, ending the end of the month, we're in that range. Support definitely looks viable where it is now. So I don't know, it'll be interesting the rest of the week. We'll see what happens. It's going to be volatile as usual. Not going to say anything's going to happen a particular reason. I'm just going to give my ranges and then trade based on those ranges, those resistance levels. So tomorrow, if we get down here at 2006, I'm going to be buying, even though it's going to be scary. It's going to be real scary. And my stop would be it's probably either 2000. You know what? It's either wait here, don't wait here if you don't have a position to see if prices start bouncing back, or wait to see if prices fall down to this range, then buy here at this lower candlestick, and then wait to see if prices break below this Bollinger. If that happens, then you sell. But 92 and 89, that's a pretty tight stop, so could be right. That was the daily. So yeah, the daily did close higher than yesterday, which is a bullish sign. We had that nice little retrace, which is also pretty good. We got rid of some of this congestion in here, and made more congestion on the downside. If prices were not to fall something solid below these two candlesticks tomorrow, would be a very bullish sign. And I don't think that that's going to happen tomorrow unless there's some news event that happens. We are still closing above on the trend line. If we open up higher tomorrow, 2027, 53, 35. Yeah. 2055 looks like a sexy bullish close tomorrow on the S&P right here. It looks like if that were to happen, it would be right above that. Maybe that would be the high for tomorrow, and then prices close right here, that 2047 range, and then fall a little bit on the next day, find support right here. It's very volatile though, so if that happens, then I would definitely look for a high within this Keltner range. If prices were to do that, if they don't break above it immediately after the next candlestick, so that's a few days out. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself on the SPX. Getting back to the VIX. This seems like the line of support right here. Right there, that's what it is. A little bit above, a little bit below. I think that might... Let's see here. Got a nice little wedge forming here. Same thing that was happening there too, but it's a pretty long wedge. That's way back there. December 5th. 414. Huh. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. Sorry about the gaps in silence here. I'm just thinking about price actions. And if I said everything that I wanted to say regarding it, I don't want to repeat myself over and over again. Right now I'm short 100 shares of UVXY for tomorrow. And I'll go ahead and let you know how that position turns out when I make my next video tomorrow. And it doesn't look good. See, on the resistance and on the UVXY, let's see. I generally had a hypothesis in the past that dealing with this stuff, 33, oof, that's rough. So the high end on this is 33. Charting the UVXY is like charting impossibility, I thought, but sometimes it tends to make a lot of sense. And this looks very bullish on UVXY. Yeah, there's a big target out there, 33. Where is this? Here? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense though. Mm, but yeah, you know, prices could just drop down from there, just because this is more of um, a, a, a gaping trend line. It's not an asymmetrical trend line so much. Where do you draw the line here? I mean, I guess it broke above it there, but so yeah, tomorrow if markets do fall, um, that 33 level could definitely come into play. I don't know how long that would last though. 33. So yeah, that would be a double top for 34, 33 for Friday. Um, every time we've gotten a candlestick like this, prices have gone up on UVXY, or a lot of the times. And these type of bullish patterns, it was starting to move up. We got that hollowed out topping bottom candlestick and rose from there. Um, 8 months UVXY. So right on that 10-day simple moving average as well, on the found support there. Bollingers are starting to split too, which is kind of precarious because we're in the upper range of this Bollinger. Unless we break this trend line, uh, prices could very well just rise up to 42. Let's try to start to fill this gap here. 46. Or maybe they'll just fill this gap here. I'm not going to make any assumptions, just wait to see. But if it does fill this gap, it would seem like up here. I don't know. That is a long way up. I don't know. It's a tough call. It always is with this product. Alright, so yeah, that was UVXY. Showed you the one. Let me show you the 110-hour real quick. Coming on to the trend line here, you can see prices. Kind of trying to find that support range. 2017 looks like a pretty good trend line on the one. And that would be in queue with price support there. And that level 2 for that same price support would be here. So between 2016 and 2017, 26, 35, 2016, 40, this is pretty strong support for tomorrow. So even if we do open up lower tomorrow, if this breaks, this would be my level 1. 212 on the 5 would be level 2. I think it was down there. Level 3 I think was a little bit further. In the video you can rewatch it and see what they were. We got the trend line coming up here. Maybe we go up like a couple points, hit this trend line, and then move down, and that would be pretty bearish. But as you can see when we've created this pattern here, from this range after we made a lower high, start developing that little megaphone pattern, we've always seemed to move up from that point. As you can see, even though things kind of look bearish, I mean, that could have been a double top. The angle wasn't so good, but like here could have been a double top here, right there, but it wasn't. So I'm thinking maybe that is the same thing. One, or one, two, 1, 2, 3. You know, this doesn't make any sense here because, I mean, from, let's see, 204 to 212, that would be 8. 204, yeah. 8. And then from 208 to 216. So, oh yeah, 12, 8, 20. So 20 points. 15, 25, 35. So even if this were 1, 2, 3 waves up, third wave would usually be higher, and like creating some type of subwave for 35. Yeah, 35 would be right there too, but that's really bullish. I don't think it would happen like that. 1, 2, 87, 20. No way. 90. We'll just say 90. 90 to 10. So what I'm doing right now is just measuring waves. This is wave 1. This is 10 points. Wave 2. Yeah, 10. 8 points. 10 points. Wave 2 is 8 to 25. What? Wow, really? Really? 20. Okay, so that'd be 30 points higher. 30 points higher from where wave 3 begins in the subway. So if we were to move down even more in the timeline, 30 points. 1, 2. That is, of course, this doesn't turn into a head and shoulders. If that turns into head and shoulders, I think it's all bets are off. But if prices were to rise, I think that 2035 range would. I think it puts us right at the trend line, to be honest with you. 2030, yeah. So 2035 mañana would complete the A, B, C wave for a subwave within this bear pattern formation forming. And then if prices at that point move higher or lower, that's all up to Mr. Market. But again, the math right now says it would be 2036 from here. 30 points. 10, 20, 2. Yeah, I'd probably start that wave at 22. So 30 points, 35 points higher is adding the subwaves when I did. I got into a larger time range, so I couldn't do it so much on 60. 2, 3. Well, 3 I think would be up here because I think I counted this as 2. Yeah, that's what I did. But yeah, that would be that. Um, yeah, so yeah, that upper trend line definitely looks very negotiable as well. So maybe that's what we do tomorrow. We kiss 2012 and then head back up. 11 months. What does that look like, guys? Does that look like something's going to develop where I'm just going to eat it tomorrow? Develop one of these. 2. It's like gap down red all day tomorrow. That's the option. It's either staying in that range, that volatility range, or going down all day, or going up all day. One of those three things is going to happen. And those are the options for tomorrow, folks. Signal line is still above the MACD, which is kind of bearish, but you can see that MACD is starting to curl up. We'll see if it puts in a positive divergence tomorrow. All right, thanks again for watching. Have a great evening, day.